Right, so unless you've been living under a stone, you will know that in the last couple of years slurry regulations have changed massively in this country, and even more so they are going to change. Last couple of years, farmers in derogation have to have spread a certain amount of their slurry through low emissions systems, or less as they're known, and from 2023 on, every bit of slurry that's spread on arable ground is going to have to be put out with a less system. So it's the way it's going. There's nothing we can do about it. Personally, from my point of view, it's not making my job any easier. It's making it more difficult, if anything. But look, at what can we do? It's just the way it is. So we're going to have to put up with it and keep moving on. So this is why this is here. This is a Martin Engineering dribble bar, and this is going to be fitted to our joskin tanker. Now, there's several different variations of dribble bars out there. You can go as elaborate or as simple as you want, and I have went down the simple, cheaper road on this one. Look, there's for and against all of them. Obviously, there's massive advantages to having the more elaborate systems, and there's also advantages to having the more basic systems. But anyway, this one is, like I said, it's a Martin, and it is a 7.5 meter folding. There's also an 8.5 meter telescopic, and there is a 9.5 and a 10 meter also. But why I went for this one is basically we're agents for these as well, so it's going to be the most common model that people will probably be interested in. And also, if it's a good success on the joskin, then it can be moved over to the high spec in time, and then a 10 meter can be put on the joskin or something like that. But with most things, you have to crawl before you can run. So that's why we're going that road, and that's why we are putting this on the joskin first, seeing how it works out, and then we will go from there. So, like I said, there's several different variations of them. I suppose the most common one that everyone kind of knows is the Mastic one, and that is back door mounted, but this one isn't. This one, you have holes here so you can mount it onto your chassis of your tank. If your tank doesn't have a chassis, then it does require some welding to the back of the tank to fit this on it. But it is, I would say, in my opinion, it's a substantially stronger job to do with that way. Moving on from that, we're on 50mm pipes, leaving our macerator, and I'll go around to the other side there now, and I will show you basically the internals of the macerator. Why this place is here like this is because we weren't quite sure whether we'd be feeding from the top or feeding from the bottom. So we think we're going to feed from the bottom from now, but I'm going to show you how that works as well, just for anyone who's interested in the system. Also, the way it's done here is basically your pipe is clamped on here, and then that's into that one, and that's clamped here as well, which our older our old trailing shoe was onto a pipe, and then this was shoved onto a pipe. You know, just there was a little steel pipe in the middle, and then so it's just done differently, but less likely to come off, I would think, the way it's done there. But we'll hope that's how it goes anyway. So for the purpose of the video, I already have the bolts removed out of this, but basically you have two little plates here with threads in them, and you run a bolt up through them. When you thread that, it pulls the plate this way, which in turn shoves this plate back in against your macerator. Extremely important to have your macerator switched off when you go in here, if the need ever occurs. But that is number one anyway, that the macerator needs to be turned off for you to enter into this hatch. So you just take it off here and you're into the guts of it there. Now if you have a blockage, you can just put your hand in and free it out, or if you have a stone stuck in here or anything like that. But basically, as you can see here, we have 6 spinning discs, 3 at each side. They run off of what I would call a shear plate here, and so your slurry is pumping up through this hole, pumping straight up there, and it's trying, the vacuum pump is blowing the slurry, so it's trying its best to shove it out all the holes, and you might get some net or silage on the hole here. So when your disc spins around, it just shears it off. It cuts the silage as it's spinning. This lad is spinning at a ferocious speed around and around, cuts the material there, and then your vacuum pump is obviously pumping the whole time, so it's pushing, and it pushes out any foreign objects that you may have inside in it. But this system works very well. There is other systems there, but they're a lot more complex, and they involve springs and backing plates and stuff like that, and when they wear out, it's a lot of work, whereas these ones are a bit more straightforward. If you do need to ever go in here, you just take off your side plate here and you can pull out the whole lot, put in your discs, or put in everything if you need to, or whatever. But like I say, it's a simpler system to work on and easier to maintain. So like I was saying, we're going to be fed from the bottom or the top. We weren't quite sure at the start, but I would think it's likely we're fed from the bottom, and what that involves is the slurry will be coming out of the back of our tank into a little 3-way box that sits here, that's supplied with all these bars. It's just above in the shed at the moment. So your 3-way box sits here. Your slurry is coming into your 3-way box. Right here you have a place to mount your splash plate and your gate valve for your splash plate. Teeing off to this side, you have another place to mount your lollipop and your fill point, and at the other side you also have it. So straight out you have your splash plate, if you desire a splash plate. To the side here you have a fill point, and to the side here you have another fill point. These really will be back here somewhere, but just for the point of it here at the moment, that's the way it'll be mounted. So what you will be doing is you will also be fitting another gate valve up on top here, and that will be blowing the slurry up in here, and that's how you will switch it, turn it on and off. Your gate valve will open, slurry flows into the macerator, close your gate valve, you're stopped. So you will have 2 gate valves opposed to normally you have the 1, but the way I will be fitting them is I'll be just putting a quick coupling on the hydraulic hose that you won't need an extra spool valve. You'll still be using the same amount of spools if you were using the splash plate to leave your slurry up into the macerator. So you just unplug one hose, plug it into your other lollipop, and if you're using the dribble bar, then it's the same hose will work the flow into the macerator as it would your splash plate. And if you want to change over, just unplug your hose and plug it into the other one. Now you do need 2 hydraulic hoses, or 2 sets. You will need 4 hoses for folding and unfolding your dribble bar, and for running your macerator you will also need 2 hoses as well. That will be piped onto the motor, and that is a very, very strong motor actually, that one. But that's how that will work. Breathing also is done through this hole here. It allows air, because if you just pump slurry in, the air is nowhere to go, so you kind of get air locks. But anyway, that's how that one will work. So that's how she gets her air, is in through that hole there. Moving on from that, we have no brake back on this model, but from now on all the new models will have a brake back fitted to them, and that will so if you have this folded out and you were driving close to the fence and you're watching something else and you don't think of the fence or a ditch or a tree or anything like that, then what it'll allow is there'll be a spring inside here, and it'll allow it to trip back, and away you go again. If you do it with this one, then you run the likelihood of bending this, so something to be careful of. In our old one there was no brake back either, so we won't take any much notice of that, but it is, I would say it would be better with a brake back on it. And they tell me from now on they're offering that on them. So now I suppose the final part of whatever questions there is to be asked about this is the price. So this machine in the yard here is €9,000 plus the VAT. Fitting is extra. We would reckon maybe €500-600 would probably fit it, or if a customer wants to fit it himself, then that's no problem too. It can be taken away the way it is, or you can bring it to some engineering firm to fit it if you wish. But that's what the price of them will be going forward. And like I said, that's in the yard here. For basically, we're going to kind of cover Kerry and Limerick and maybe a bit of Clare or Cork or whatever, but like, you know, we're not going to be stepping on anyone's toes and trying to sell them all over the country. But that's what they are. So yeah, that's kind of it really. That's all I can say about it. But if you have any questions, hit me up there in the comments. And actually, you know, give me your feedback on it. If you have one of these or you have any other makes, let me know what you think, and we'll take it from there. So thank you very much.